What up, YouTube? Welcome back to the vlog. So we are doing a camshaft on this ISX or X15, and we are doing it in this makeshift trade sheet, trade shade tree mechanic type deal. And as the name implies, okay, this would not have been possible if it wasn't for my buddy Vic, man. Shout out to Vic. The only reason why we're doing this right now because I got several quotes, and on average they were quoting us 10K rough estimate to get this done, and it's gonna be almost a month to get it done. We're on fourth day right now. Let's enjoy the video. Hey, what up, vlog? Check this out. This is what we got going on. We got the infamous Vic right there.
What's up?
Vic the man. I tell you what, man. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about this man. He's supposed to be an office man, but he's kind of like he's kind of like Batman. You know what I mean? He's got dual personality. So I don't think he ever touched anything, mechanically. But he's all over here just knocking it out. Look at this. This is his idea right here. Look at some backyard stuff here. Look at this.
Collaboration between an oak tree and a pine tree and two army guys, right?
And here's what we're doing, man. See, the crankshaft is or camshaft. Camshaft is right here. It has to come out through the front, so we're gonna have to just remove everything in the front. So, and all I had to do is give the idea to this man right here, and he just look what he come up with. Insanity. So this is what we got. Hold on. Vic the man, I tell you, we is in here just tearing this thing up, man. Look at that. So we got a lot of things off. He did most of the work. I was mostly supervising him, He said, I'm your worker for now. I was like, you know what? That works for me. I got no problems with that. But here's where we are. We're actually having an issue with the dampener right now. That dampener is kind of being a pain, but we'll get it. We're gonna let it soak. We're gonna call it a day now. So here's the actual culprit right there. Man, you know what? Wow. I feel like that thing is shaking a lot. Huh. Maybe that's what it is, man. This thing does the same thing, I think. Yep, this thing does the same thing. For some reason, it just ate it up. Oh, we lost a lot of metal on that. Based on, if you look at the size of, oh yeah, we lost a lot of, oh my goodness. Yeah. Wow. Look at that. That's the culprit, man. Well, it probably not this one. It's probably the camshaft itself, because I hear a lot of bad things about these camshafts, This thing got some power, man. There it is. There's the culprit right there. Now, I got the master tech over here with me, right? His name is Victor. Okay. So he explained to me, I had no idea, man. I had no idea. So he explained to me, now that your intake is traveling more, that you should have more air in there, right? It's going to be opening more, because this is the intake. So you should have less soot, right? And should be better fuel mileage, right?
That's right. That's right. Because you know, your lift and duration is significantly decreased here.
Right, right.
So
That makes sense.
Your intake valve is not being pushed down as much.
Yeah.
And also that in combination with this roller wheel, you see how much wear that roller wheel has compared to look how thick that is right there. So that in combination, this wear and combination with this wear pattern too on this lobe, and you've got poor performance there.
And that's why you're an ASC certified master tech. All right, so everything looks good, man. And even Vic, you know, he's confirmed we look good. Hopefully, we're gonna be fine. I think we're gonna be fine. Bearings all looks good. Okay, we got lucky on that. I love that. We're getting ready to put that camshaft back on. And one thing, like, no matter how much YouTube research you're doing, okay, look at this. Like, nobody on YouTube has done or has showed it like the way it is right now. Why is that? Do I have a special engine? I don't think so. I have not. Mostly the ones I've seen on YouTube that I've been watching. Okay, hold on. There's maybe. Okay, there you go. That's much better. Light. Needed light. Mostly the ones I've seen on YouTube that I've watched, they have the gear type. This one right here, this bottom one, the gear is actually, there's a spring loaded on there, and it's a scissor gear, and you'll be able to adjust the lash here. You know, you'll be able to take out the lash here. Now, this one's a little different. You know, I agreed with Vic when he explained it to me. We'll just lock it in and put it back the same way, because we didn't have no pressure here between these two gears. We didn't have no pressure, and we mark it where we took it off from, and everything here is locked. We're on top dead center right now. So we'll just put it back the same way. You know, we mark the gears. That's why I'm glad Vic is here, man. We mark the gears, right? So we can put the same gear where it needs to be.
Never at ease, I don't know a limit. Chasing a dream, I don't know what sleepers. I got a queen, she lit me the evening. She ripe like a peach and she snapped me the snippet. You well overdue for that link up in person. Text me to fall through a murder, she wrote it. Still up with courage, you're doing a service. Pull up to the crib, I'm equipped with the brush strokes. Cut throat from the low, when no love goes. Women buddy like it's been that.
Okay, so we got the cam in. We got the gear in. We got it locked. We ran into a little bit of an issue. We are on quick serve now. And Vic the man has come through again. So let me explain a little bit of the issue. So what we did is, when we barred the engine, we were taking it off, right? We barred the engine, put it on top dead center. On the dampener, it's all marked on there, okay? So we put it on TDC. Now, what we didn't realize is that which TDC that was. We didn't, we didn't try to figure out what TDC that was. I think it's just, there's so much things going on, you know? There's a lot of things going on in here, and Vic has never done this before. I have never done this before. So mistakes happen, right? So we were able to fix that problem with quick serve, and it's a good thing I had pre-purchased the pin, because that's what I saw online. That's how we do our mechanic around here. It's YouTube, you know. So, so the pin actually locks in right over. Where you go? Right there. You see the pin right there? Okay. On that pin, there's a little marking on there. That marking, you should be able to like see it halfway or whatever, right? And once you put the dampener, if I wish I had the dampener on, but on the dampener and on the cover here, there's gonna be a mark that's showing insert pin. And so mine is a little worn out, but the insert pin is right there where that mark is, okay? You line that mark with this mark. Come on. Come on. There we got stuff everywhere. We need to set up a table, man. Vic, I can't believe you don't got a setup ready for this, you know? Okay, so you line it up with that, right? You line insert pin with this, and then you'll be able to insert that pin where we have it in here right now. I don't think you'll be able to see it clear from this side. You have to see it from here. I'm just glad we were able to get to that pin. That's the pin right there. Okay? So, now we got the crankshaft lock, which means we have these gears are locked, which means that position where the valves are, that should be the right position as long as you lock the cam right there. So you lock the cam, you insert the gear, you are good to go. That is it. The problem we were having, it's a good thing like I said, so thankful that Vic is here, because he was looking at that, right? We were getting ready to put it in. And then he's like, wait a minute, that's not top dead center, because look at that. Those cam lobes are like up. That's putting pressure on this. There's no way that's top dead center. Unless top dead center is number 6 on where we are. That's where we started doing some research, and that's where we come up with is that since we did not mark the old cam to this, we don't have a reference. That's why we locked the pin, the crankshaft pin, and then we wedge that now, because as soon as you turn that, it's gonna put you in the right position. As soon as you turn the crank and lock the pin, it's gonna put you in the right position. Now you can wedge it and put the gear in. Okay, so we are ready to get back on. We actually put the gear on. So this gear, there really wasn't anything that you could do to line that gear, except that it's a good thing we mark this plate. Actually, this plate, it says do not remove, do not disassemble, but there was no way for us to take it off. You know, we didn't have the proper tool. I guess, like Vic was saying, like you could have probably taken off this, the gear, the cam gear through here, you know, pull it out through there, but we didn't have a way to do it, so we just went ahead and took this off. But before we took it off, we marked it. There's a mark there, and then we mark. This is a little bracket right here, right? That this sits on, and then it sits on the cam gear. So we mark the bracket here. We mark it here where it's that. So we just lined it back up, and then we should be good to go with our cam positioning sensor timing. So you just gotta make sure you remember to do that. Just mark everything as you can. You know, as far as like marking these gears, I would not touch those. I guess just make sure you got your crank pin lock it, and then your cam wedge it, and then you are good to go. And then you just put the harmonic balancer into lock pin, and that's it. You're good to go. But your torque here is 22 and then 75. Torque it to 22 first, and then torque it to 25, and then you go 120 degrees, which is a lot. I didn't realize that much torque on there.
2275.
Yeah.
And 120.
120, yeah. And then also, like when you're putting it in, where's that lube? You make sure you put that.
I put it over there.
Okay.
Lube.
Yeah, make sure you put assembly lube on all of your, bearings. See, that's a bearing, that's a bearing, that's a bearing. Just, and I mean, it's you're gonna have oil flowing through there, but make sure you put assembly lube on there just in case you got some kind of something that's break it in or whatever. So that's it. We are ready to put the cover back on. We got the seal in. This seal's a little different. So this seal, like, it's, what do you call it, Vic?
Rope seal?
Rope seal, yeah. So it's like, you just got to run it through. You run it through, goes all the way. Make sure you clean the hole first. We already did it. So clean the hole and then run it through and then double it there. And last cover, it looked like there was RTV on there, right, Vic? Yeah. So we're just going to go ahead and put an RTV in this area right here. Just, make it like it's last time. It wasn't leaking, but Vic was saying, like, yeah, it's true. If it's going to leak, it's going to be over here. So anyway, that's it. We're going to put the cover on, and we are ready to set the lashes or the overhead. Okay, so since we're reusing parts, right? Because like we inspected all the parts, and it's like there's no protrusion here. It looked like that it might need to be replaced, but there isn't any here. So in that event, and what you want to do is like these right here, they don't have any. There's none in there. So I think we're okay as far as this part. This is where the damage was, and yeah, the the bearings are okay, I think, on the rocker. So if you look at them, they showing a little bit of wear on them, but that's just normal. That's gonna happen. See, this is what a new one looked like. Okay, right there. But as far as this one right here, this one is good to go. There's nothing wrong here. I don't think you're gonna have problems with that. So we're gonna put them back on. But since you're putting them back on, what you wanna do is you wanna pull it out from the truck and set it the same way, and pull them out the same way and set them the same way, because you want this one to be where it was, this one to be where it was. This one needs to be here. Mix them up. Okay, anyway, you set them up the way you pulled them out. Okay, you pull them out of your rocker rod, right? And then you set them up, and then you put them back the same way. This one's gonna be back to where they're originally at. Also, you make sure you're using engine assembly lube, and you put it right there. You clean that surface up, you put it right there, put the engine assembly lube, so at least you got it pre-lube. If you want to see what it looks like while it's in the truck, there it is. We haven't torqued it yet. I just wanted to do a video and show that. Just the easiest way to do this, really. We've never done this before. Not on this type of engine, but I've done some engines before, so I have a little bit of experience. But Vic has never done this before. But the good thing, we have quick serve, and he's that's the man right there.
Video sponsored by Pepsi.
Oh yeah, it is. Thank you. So, yeah, what was I talking about? Yeah. So you see it disassembled here. I'm gonna assemble it, and then I'll take a video of it so you see it, and you see how it's assembled already in the truck. You're working too hard, Vic. Oh, look, you got a rip one.
I'll do it. Okay.
It's all good, man.
Let me do this way. All right.
I didn't even see that. I just saw it.
That's good. That's air conditioning, man.
Okay, so this is what it looks like when it's assembled. See, these actually separate, but when you put them on there, they would be in place. They'll have a place where they'll ride on the cam, right? So it ain't going nowhere. It's gonna have pressure on there. But this one right here, this is your Jake. This one actually has a little lock on there. See how it is? It's like a little pin. You push it, and then it comes in, and then spring loaded, and it comes out. It goes into the hole. There's a specific hole where it belongs to. So that's what it looks like, assembled outside. Now let's put it back in. Okay, so we got everything set. We got everything torque. So torque on this is 22 foot-pounds, and then you go 60 degrees. Okay, and you want to go in sequence with this. You want to go from the middle on the way out. That's how you want to torque them. So you want to torque this one, then this one, then this one, then this one, then that one, and then that one. Okay, you always want to make sure when you do your torque on this, just so you don't miss anything. You want to make sure you torque everything the way it's supposed to. When it comes to assembling it back on, what do you think, Vic? Always take your time, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So take your time. Don't need to be rushing or nothing like that. But we're setting the overhead now. So the way the overhead works is, so you're gonna set it. There's a mark on the dampener, right? We got it marked on there. Ours is not really clear because of she's a little rusty. That dampener a little rusty, but we were able to find it. But there's a mark in there. It's called A, and there's B, and then there's C. And then when you look at the schematic or how to set the overhead, Cummins have that when you're on A, it's either gonna be 1, it's gonna be loose, or 6 is gonna be loose. Now this one, because we got everything resetted, right? We got everything backed off. It's gonna be a little bit different. So what you have to do is you have to actually look where the cam lobes are and make sure they're not touching or they're a little bit down. They're not on the pressure side. Then you know you're on the right cylinder. Okay, so we had this one on A. If you look down there, you'll see, well, we already have it adjusted, but you will see that the cam lobes are on their resting position. So it's not 6. Okay, now we're getting ready to turn it again. Vic is gonna turn it, and we're going to B. And I believe that's gonna be a 2 or a 5. I don't remember. We're gonna have to use the, and then you see how he's turning it. You see where you turn it right there, and you look, just look for the next mark. Vic, hold on. You don't have everything clear. Go ahead, keep going. Pretty sure it's right there. Or keep going, keep going. B is coming up right there. Oh, you see that?
Okay.
You see where the mark is? Mark is right there, and there's B. So
A little bit more.
mark and then B. Yeah, just a little bit more. It doesn't have to be perfect because it's just not gonna touch. You know. All right, now that we are on B, and as you can see right here, we should be on B, and it should be either 5 or 2. 5 or 2.
5 or 2. 2?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, so excuse me. 5 or 2.
This.
Yeah, that, I think that one is on, so it's gonna be back here. So it's gonna be 5. We should be sitting on 5. Where's the flashlight?
That. Yeah.
Right? It looked like the cam, the lobe look like they're up. So, what the heck, dude? Are you kidding me?
No, that was here, up here.
Oh, okay, okay. I can't see clear. Can you take a look at it? I think it's off. It's not on there. So
I can't see that.
hold on.
See.
Hold on. See?
It looks like it.
Right?
It looks like it.
Yeah. Looks like it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we are on B, and if you look
Did you
right,
say 5 or 2?
5 or 2, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It looks like your cam lobes are on the resting position. They're not on that stroke. So that should be it. We should be on 5. So like I said, B is on 2 or 5. And we're looking at, it looks like it's gonna be 5.
Okay.
All right, we got the master mechanic over here. He's gonna go ahead and show us how to do this overhead. So basically, we did A already. A was either gonna be cylinder 1 or cylinder 6, and the lobes were on 1. They were resting on 1, so we did 1. We adjusted 1, and he's doing it right now. And we are right now on B, on the dampener, and it's either gonna be 2 or 5, and it looks like it's gonna be a 5. And the way you want to do this, see how he's adjusting it right here with that you want to keep that nut loose, and that bolt right there is what you put in to put a drag on that filler gauge. That filler gauge on that intake is 14 thousandths, by the way. On this particular engine, it's gonna be 14 thousandths. It's gonna be on your valve cover. It'll show it on there. There you go. You just want a little bit of drag on there. It's like the way he's doing right now. He's checking it and checking it, and boom. Now he's gonna tighten that nut, and then he's gonna recheck it again. I feel like maybe should have bought different kind of filler gauges. Those ones are a little too much of an angle on them. See how he's holding at? He's gonna hold that steady, the Allen steady, and then it's gonna tighten the nut.
Kind of like to wiggle it a little bit every now and then. Just
There
to
you
make
go.
Sure it's...
You sure do. Yeah, because sometimes that oil will pull that thing in there and you feel like it's gonna be tight. So there you go. I think it's good, huh? What do you think? Yeah? You just want a little bit of drag on there. You don't need to be too tight or too loose. Just a little bit of drag on there. That's it. What do you think, Vic? Good? Feels good? Okay. All right, we already did, as you gotta remember, as you adjust these, you gotta put the X where you've done the adjustment. We did the intake, that one, and that one, right? The exhaust, and I mean the engine brake and the intake or exhaust, right? So we already did this one right here, and the video cut off. This is the reality of video editing. Is that sometimes you're gonna run into it. So we did. Now that was the intake, which is at 14 thousandths, and this is gonna be at 27 thousandths. We already did this one. Now we're just gonna do the engine brake. The engine brake is gonna be 7 millimeter. Got a little bit of oil in it, and we'll be good to go. We'll move on to the next one. Look at this. Did you guys know that this man right here is supposed to be a superintendent, and I got him out here working, man? See the kind of influence that you could do. Like, I'm a dictator. I ain't even gonna lie. How do I do that to this man? You know? No, it's all in fun, and he's happy and willing to learn. I'm so thankful for Vic, and he hasn't done any these before, but he's had a lot of experience in this field. So that came in very, very clutch in a lot of things that we did to this truck. Now, one thing I made a mistake on, like, I did not think that this job was going to be this big. It's just a big job. So another thing that he did right here, so like, this is the camshaft positioning sensor, right? By the way, the adjusting the jake brake, it's the same thing, same process. He's looking for that drag, and it's the same thing. You got a small bolt right there, and then you got a nut that holds that bolt. There's supposed to be a torque on there, but you know what? You look up that torque. We don't worry about that torque. I think that's okay. You tighten it as much as you can. That's your torque. So, but anyway, so the cam positioning sensor, right? This one we had to remove it, and the way we had to remove it, it was going to be destroyed no matter what. So we destroyed that sensor, and now look at this. Look at this. The older one. This is supposed to be a newer cam sensor. The older one, the connection is facing this way. So Vic actually had to surgerize this harness right here just to separate that, so you can run it over here, so that would reach here this way. That's ridiculous. We're not gonna talk negative. We're good. What do you think, Vic? We're good?
We're good.
All right. We move on. Okay, so we are on C. I don't know if the camera's seeing that, but just trust me, we are on C. And C should be 3 or 4. And if you look right there, 3, that lobe is not riding. 3, that lobe is not riding. So the exhaust not riding, the intake is not riding. Now let's go look at 4. 4, you see that lobe is up on that one. Let me see. I don't know. Oh, you can't see it. Anyway, just trust me. The intake is riding. As a matter of fact, you can see it's riding right there. It's pushed in. So that's when you know it's riding, okay? So now we're going to be on 3. All right, we're going to adjust 3. Just in case you're wondering where you put that gap right there. You see there's a little plate right there. That's the head. That thing wiggles and stuff. And you see how that bolt is going down. And then you put this in, and you're just looking for that drag. You put the pressure in, and you look for that drag. Maybe a little bit more, Vic. Okay, doesn't have to be perfect. You got tolerance, so I feel like that's good, Vic.
That's good.
Yeah. This is the intake, by the way. Okay, there you go. Yeah, I feel like that's good. There's a little bit of drag on there, you know. It's good. So the long one is the long rod. That's your intake. The short one, that's your exhaust. Okay. Now, like I said, where's the marker? As you do them.
Oh, right there. How about the flashlight?
As you get them done, you mark them, just so you know, you keep track of them. Okay, you don't want to have one that is too loose or too tight. Then you're asking for trouble. You're gonna have to go do that doggone camshaft again. Lower it down. Okay. She sounds good. She sounds good. Wow. Wow. There she goes, man. Let me tell y'all something. She is running so good. She sounds so good. That engine runs so different. I guess she needed it big time, man. My goodness. Even before I picked up the truck from the auction, I guarantee you, it needed some type of attention of that sort. You know, maybe it just made it worse. You know, we ran it. You know, should have opened the cover, but it's okay. It's where we are. So, thanks to that man right there, the man, the myth, the legend.
No, we work on it together, man. That was a lot of fun.
The man, the myth, the legend. I tell you, there was no way I could have done it without him. I'll tell you that. I'll give it to you that. You know, probably. I mean, I could have done it, but it might not have been right. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm saying, hey, there's no way I could have done it proper without him. So, man, I'm so embarrassed that I have to take his weekend, and he's out. It's Sunday. He's out here working. You know, it's crazy. I know. I gotta do something for him. I know. Yeah. He don't want me to, but we're gonna do something for him. Don't worry about it. Man, I'm just so happy. I think she sounds so good. We'll see when we put some load on her. We're gonna do the oil change on her, and then we will see. Okay. Any closing remarks, bro? What do you think?
No, man, it's a lot of fun. I appreciate you coming over here to the truck stop of Wake Forest. You know, it's always a good time, man. It just brought back a lot of memories, man. I'm really thankful to spend some time with you, man. Doing the things we love to do.
Appreciate you, bro.
Sure.
Appreciate you, man. Well, you guys, that's the end of the vlog, man. That's the end of this vlog, you know. I got to try to figure out how to put this together, but I don't think I could put it together in a video enough to where it tells the actual story. You know, it was fun. It was a great time with a good friend of mine. You know what I mean? We had a good time. You know, so that's the end of the vlog, man. She's back up and running, man. 2.5 days, right, Vic?
Yeah.
2.5 days.
Yeah, I mean,
We got it done. Now, dealership, can you say that you can do that in 2.5 days? I know we don't got no backlog, but you know what? We're only backyard, man. Look at look at our system here, you know. So, all right, we will see y'all in the next video. Oh, here we go.